Good. I was going to say good morning, Trips about these, but I've already been on this morning speaking to you. I'm coming to you again with Dee'S Friday feeling. And I was messing about with my angel cards because you know I did cards, angel readings, and I thought I'll pull a card out for starting the show and what I'm going to say. So I got that one. See this thing in reverse. Right, so it says, gentleness, Archangel Sandalphon, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations and environments. So that's quite good because I've got my friend Adam Robertson coming on the show next to, you'll probably best know him as River City actor Dr. Dan. But I do know him for a good play that I went to see, Cool Dad at the Oran Moor, which absolutely fabulous, but also know him as a good guy and was introduced to him a while ago. So I'd like to welcome Adam Robertson on the show.
Hello. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Good. Loving it. Loving life. Loving lockdown.
I know, and loving how many loaves
making
of
the
bread.
most of it. I've become a master baker. Well, not master. Maybe I've become a baker. Yeah, I'm not at the master bit yet, but yes, I'm baking about 5-6 loaves a week. Because I've got kids, they go through bread like there's no tomorrow.
Do they?
Oh, a loaf, toast and jam, toast and marmalade, toast and marmite, toast with soup, toast with cheese, toast with toast.
It's good to bulk up. Is it 3 kids you've got?
Well, how much do you need to know? I've got 4 altogether. I've got 2 older boys and to a previous relationship in London.
I met one of them, and one of them was at the Cool Dads.
That's right. Yeah, that was Reef.
I remember. I met the little ones.
Yeah, I've got a 22-year-old and an 18-year-old. To my previous relationship, they live in London, those boys. But I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old here in Glasgow. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I share them half the week. Well, we're kind of doing 3-day rotations with my ex-wife. And so, yeah, homeschooling this morning where we did our Joe Wicks workout in the morning. And then we did our homeschooling, bit of maths, bit of writing, a bit of hurry up and get that done, or you're going to get no TV watching later.
Or no bread.
Or no bread. Yeah.
Exactly what I did. I had the anxiety meltdown, right? Because only people that really know me know I'm quite quiet and sedate. That's why everybody's getting this D online now, so we can try and separate the comedy a wee bit, and people aren't so scared from me. Yeah. But I actually had an anxiety attack when this first all came out, and in my infinite wisdom, I asked my ex to move in. Because everybody was everybody's been having their opinion on co-parenting. People that are not co-parenting generally have an opinion on what co-parenting people should do. And I was in and 4 weeks we lasted. And don't get me wrong, he's a great father. And we have a great relationship as far as that. But it got to 4 weeks, and I remembered the small things that just did it. And then he just said something like, "There needs to be some organisation in here." And I went, "Yes, there does. You need to go home."
Yeah. Wow. 4 weeks I don't know if we could cope with that. That was, but yeah, we're doing 3-day rotations roughly, sometimes 4, but yeah. So 3 days a week. Cool. And it's working out pretty well. Yeah.
There's lots of parents out there that are actually not even sending to their dad. That must be difficult, or sending to their parent. That must be difficult to go all that time, knowing that it's probably a good thing, but not. But I just thought, is that a good thing? Because surely that can. I think people are forgetting that mental health will take up a big part of this as well.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is that good for a child's young development not to see their dad at all on the what if?
No.
You know,
I mean, I find it hard. I do. I'm getting used to it now, but at the beginning, handing the boys back after the 3 days, I used to. I'd greet on the walk back. They only live about 10 minutes walk away, but I'd walk them around to their mums and I'd greet on the way back. Because, being on lockdown, but having your family with you, being able to, feed off them and feel like you're connected and you're doing something meaningful is all part of the.
Yeah, because I got a trampoline delivered the other day there, and my friend Gawk anyway, And I couldn't obviously do it myself. And I was like, you know, it was after I just asked him to go the week before, and I thought, I can't just ask him to go, then ask him to build a trampoline for me. And I think obviously, you know, there's always one person in a love relationship that wants back what they had, and that's not me, that's him. So I'm like, right, I can't get him to do the trampoline. So I was like to God, I can't do this anymore. That's been 5 weeks, total emotional meltdown. He had to come over to the garden and social distance while I'm sobbing for a distance. And he's like, mate, I can't cuddle you. It was awful. But yeah, I think that we were going on about the communication on here, online, how it's broke down communication, how people don't communicate. But right now, it's the most vital thing that we've got.
Totally. Yeah, it's a lifeline. And it's, I have had more contact with a much wider friendship circle than I did before lockdown. So we've been having Zoom parties, house parties, Facebook chats, WhatsApp video chats. So yeah, I've had, so I've got a bunch of pals in London that we've been hooking up for a drink and for a cocktail night. So I've been making White Russians on a Friday night and hanging out with them.
The good thing is with that is you can switch off before you make a fool of yourself. You know what I mean? You can get out the party before it gets bad.
Yes. Anyway, so there's positives coming out of this, all of this.
Yeah.
I think I think one major positive out of this whole pandemic is the environmental one. I think the planet's breathing a huge sigh of relief right now. I don't know if
vegan?
I'm not vegan. No, I've been a vegetarian for over 20 years now. I was vegan for a couple of years. I gave it a shot. And I'm now I still eat mostly kind of plant-based diet, I suppose, but I have eggs. My body was crying out for eggs, and I have the odd bit of cheese, and it's usually like sheep's cheese. I still struggle with dairy a little bit, but I've never been like militant about it. Everybody needs to eat what they need, what feels right for them, ethically, morally, but physically as well. And I've had that veggie diet now for over 20 odd years, and it works for me. So yeah.
Well, my daughter went vegan last year, obviously, because I'd watched all the stuff, what the health and all the different things, and it did totally repulse me. And it wasn't I didn't enjoy eating meat; I just couldn't disassociate for a while. And it was complete ignorance that took me back to meat. I must admit, it wasn't that I didn't think it was right to eat it, because I didn't, in my mind, I just thought I missed that so much, so I'll just pretend that that's not happening. But my daughter, she went vegan with me. However, she did struggle, but she's been full vegetarian now for 7 months. My 11-year-old, you know, she's stuck to it. And I think I will, once things settle down a bit, I'll slowly put meat out my diet. I did feel a lot better. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just one of those adverts. I didn't feel as sluggish and stuff, but it was like I was saying yesterday. But for anybody that's listening, and we're just trying to Friday feelings about making yourself positive. We know that there's bad things happening. We know that this thing's unstoppable just now. We know that we're not getting out pretty soon. That was pretty much announced yesterday. And I just want to hear from you what you're doing to put your time in. Any questions that you've got for Adam, you would like to ask him, obviously, on what he's doing for lockdown. Remember, I've had a few questions. Could you ask Dr. Dan? He's not Dr. Dan. He's Adam Robertson. Dr. Dan, the guy who played. Just saying.
I still get that. You know, not less so now, but when I was in the show, I'd get people coming up to me in all seriousness with no hint of joking, going, "Hey, Doc, I've got a sore back. I don't know if you could. Do you know what I should be taking for that?" And I'd laugh, thinking it was a joke, and they go, "No, seriously, my back's been." I'm like, "You know, I'm a pretend doctor, right? You know." Yeah.
Brilliant. And I was going on your course, which was it this weekend or last weekend? It was
a couple of weekends ago. I was going to. Well, obviously that got kiboshed altogether. So yeah, I do a lot of last 4 years or so. I've been doing a lot of teaching, acting for camera mainly, audition prep, and one-on-one coaching and stuff like that for getting people into drama schools, things like that. But yeah, so I've been teaching up at the Royal Conservatoire, at the Glasgow Clyde College, at Langside, City College. Yeah, So I've been doing a lot about that, and I love it. Yeah, love it.
I love that. What was the thing you did with Neil that was in the prisons, and he was telling me a lot about that, and I really liked that idea.
Yeah, so that I've been doing that now since 2016, working for Street Cones charity, and we have. So I've led on a few big projects in prisons and Shots, Greenock. Done a few in Shots now, where we've gone in and worked with prisoner over a period of months and developed a play with them. So we've got a bunch of prisoners together. We've done a load of improvisation exercises. We've tried to nail down a story. Usually, so the first one was about addiction and codependency. The other one was about legal highs, because they're rife in prison. And then the last one that I just finished before Christmas, was all about well-being, mental health and well-being. So yeah, we did a play called the first one was The Bell That Never Rang. And what was the last one that we just did there? Oh God, Changes. Yeah, we did a play all about change and the effect. One of the biggest impacts on mental health is change. And what bigger metaphor for that than a pandemic? You know, you're going along in your life, and all of a sudden, everything that you once took for granted is gone. You know, hugging your loved ones, going to the shop, going to the pub, going to the football, whatever it is, has been removed now. So change. So we did this play, which was all about change, and it was called. I think we called it The Change. But yeah, so that work that we've done in prisons, and we've also done with young people. We've done it with people at Kids in Care and on the edge of care down in Barhead and Govan. And
well, see, that's how drama reached me. I mean, I wasn't in care, but I was in a lot of support groups because I was quite wild. I wasn't nurtured properly. I didn't know a lot of social norms. There was loads of things that I educated myself on later on in life. But when I was younger, what was socially normal to me wasn't socially normal to others. So when I was introduced to the Valley Art Drama School, where I met who ended up being a lecturer at my college, but Leon Graham, she works at West College, Scotland. Leon Hay, sorry. So she works there, and they took me through my degree. But I went from Valley Art for a young age, and I do believe that if I hadn't have found drama, I don't know how it would have went, because even though I had some fluctuating times in my life where I wasn't immersed in what I was supposed to be doing, I always had the backbone to escape in my head, to do things, to write poems when I was feeling depressed, to, I had that creative edge which was given to me from a young age. I think people underestimate how much the arts can help, including music and dance and everything.
Totally. Well, look at it now, right? Here, we live in a society that dismiss the arts, really, that underfund the arts, that underappreciate the arts, that, we've all heard the phrase, get a real job. And it's those very people who are relying on artists right now for their well-being, for their mental health, for their sense of connection, because we've realized that you can be an accountant, a hedge fund manager, a Malaysian business tycoon, whatever it is in the world that you think are making the big wheels of the economy turn. But people are at home right now consuming art, relying on artists for music, for painting, for drama, box sets, Netflix, Prime. Drama and stories are being told right now, and we're relying on artists to fill that gap for us. So we're really realizing, how important the arts are.
Definitely, and I do find I've actually downloaded, obviously it'll just be a basic, but I've had an idea for a long while for a play, and I've put the body in, and I've got the ideas, and I've got the phrase, what it encapsulates, what it's meant to be all about, and I know exactly what most of the story is in my head, but trying to put it into the characters and breaking it down was difficult for me, because I've never done that completely, apart from doing your devised plays at college and uni and stuff. I haven't really ventured into the writing so much for a long while. I downloaded an Open University screenplay course, and it just gives you the basics, but it gives you hi from Sydney, Australia, from one Glasgow girl to another. See, that's the thing, Jacqueline, I'm not from Glasgow. Everyone thinks I'm from Glasgow, but I am not from Glasgow. I think because my comedian twang, when I say all right trips and talk like that, I'm actually from Ayrshire. So we say
Ayrshire lass.
We say Ken and things like that, that's not recognised up in Glasgow. But yeah, so I think the arts and the music that's online just now, the music that's online, inspiring artists. I've got loads of friends singers as well that are just live in their living room and just and they're not taking any money. They're not into it. They just want to keep putting their passion out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is monetized. I mean, we do need funds to obviously make the productions we can and all that behind doors. And I mean, if I can get a couple of extras, I am brew extra, as I say to Ken, because he always laughs every time I take a drink. I am brew extra. Ken just buckles. He's like, I just love seeing you drinking that, man. And I'm like, it's just normal to me. So if you want to get Dee more I am brew, if you want to get Kane a laugh, both works. It's 50 pence minimum donations, and it's just really to keep the productions to going and keep us getting sort of interest in it. All right, there's no big money in it other than just keeping things ticking over, and every little helps.
Absolutely.
That's my wee plug. But yeah, I've just been, I went back to my angel cards and I'm writing and I'm back to doing my poems, I'm looking at stuff and I'm doing monologues online with friends and stuff like that. And so I'm actually doing stuff that I didn't have time because comedy really took over my acting career. I didn't have the acting side of it. I've been into films now with my two first small feature parts, but that's only recently. And that shut down. So I'm seeing it as a way to extend the knowledge I've already got. Do you know what I mean? Actually read the Stan Skolavsky books that I've got, things like that.
Yeah.
So what's your plan?
Well, I am. I've been having online sessions with a writing pal of mine, a guy called Martin Taylor. He wrote the play East Coast Chicken Supper. He won a Fringe First for that. He's a brilliant writer. And so he's been working on a new play called Twilight of a Champion. I've been working with that, helping develop that with him, and some other work, some other short pieces. There's also a film project that we've been working on. So I'm maintaining my kind of creative life outside of that. I've also been trying to take all of the classes that I do and develop them into an online version.
So I can turn.
Yeah, I can turn some of the stuff that I've done, because I've built big slideshows and some presentation type stuff, into a webinar so that I can make it a bit more interactive. And I'm trying to figure out how I can do some of the scene work I could do, because obviously all the classes I do are so practical. They're all about having people in the room, breaking down a script, analyzing a script, finding out why your character's saying that, what's this scene really about, all of that kind of stuff is very interactive. But I think there's a way of doing that with two people. I can obviously do a lot of one-to-one stuff very easily, and I can work on self-tape stuff, which
fantastic. That's my biggest thing. I don't have a self-tape.
Right. Well, I do a lot. My agent sends me quite a lot of self-tape stuff. So I've got, I mean, my Vimeo channel is full of self-tapes for everything from,
fantastic. Well, that's comedy, because obviously, you know, my background a wee bit, and you know a bit that obviously the comedy circuit, I wasn't really in the mainstream comedy. So I actually learned a lot of my stagecraft because I was new to the stage, and they were right. I was just winging it at first, and then I got better. And I had to learn myself for situations out with my help. And I did a lot of online stuff, and it worked because I know that I'm as good as somebody that's done it at practical now, because there's ways, as you say, round about it. And I think it's good to keep the mind active. Everybody's hung up, well, I'm not working, I've not got money, but you can still do things. I'm still fighting COVID, and you're keeping me going while I'm in my bed for 4 weeks down. And, oh, Yvonne, that's right, darling, I hadn't heard from you. You had the message in the inbox. Keep me posted and keep strong, okay? And hopefully that's you coming to the end of it now, okay? So yeah, there's about 4 or 5 different. Two of my fans were actually, one of my fans was actually in the isolation ICU for 2 weeks with it, you know, and and my fans who's actually statistically high risk. He was several disabilities. Not sure which ones, but a lot of not word communication and eye contact. And he was in it, and he got it, he bet it. So I think it's just really strong will and immunity, I think it's coming down to.
Yeah, it's going to affect. Say that again?
What do you make? What's your take on it? Do you have a take on what's actually happening? Do you believe the government? You don't, or do you just go with the flow and do what I do and just?
I think I try to manage my my paradigm, my view of the world, and I've learned over the years that it's like a war. There is a war for eyeballs. There's a war for people's attention, and if you're not careful, your attention will get pulled down a cul-de-sac, down a tunnel that you don't want to be down. I've had people send me stuff about it's 5G, it's bloody, and I just think right now people are dying. That's the bottom line. People are dying that shouldn't be, and so that's all that matters. And I have to have faith that we as a society, as a global society, are going to work our way through it, and we're going to do everything we can. And I think that's another positive, the kind of sense of community spirit that is emerging, where people are trying to take care of each other, is one of the big pluses to come out of it. But yeah, my view on it is that it's a virus. I spoke to some poor guy in a supermarket the other day, and he was like, he wasn't observing the social distancing thing, right? And I had to say, sorry, mate, can you just... And he went, this is nonsense. He said, it's nonsense. And he said, this has come from China. This is, they're eating bats. They were eating bats. And I just said, I don't know if that's the truth. I said, but what is the truth is that people are dying, and we just need to try and do the best we can to follow the rules. We'll play by the rules and see if we can get through it together. I don't think blaming anybody is going to help.
No, it's not.
People are dying here, America, Australia, Denmark, all over, and so we just need to look after each other, play by the rules, and manage your mental health. So when people send you these things, conspiracy theories, and I mean, it's not to say it's not political. It is absolutely political, and so I'm not saying disengage entirely, but do try and keep yourself optimistic and upright, and taking care of yourself and your family and all that.
Well, I was so busy. I was doing my degree, and I was doing, and then obviously I fell into comedy, and because of the way I did comedy, it went so big, dead quick. And in the same period of me doing my degree, I literally split up with my partner who I'd been with for 10 years. And I literally just split up with them. I went to college, got a new house. I hadn't moved into the house completely. I'd been here 7 years. The walls weren't properly decorated. And then I think psychologically, because I wasn't happy with myself in my house, I kept it undesirable for MD to visit. Like madness, like that way. Well, nobody will visit because I won't allow MD in here. So that way I don't need to think about the guy situation. Do you know what I mean? So now I'm actually doing my house for me, and I've got 3 rooms decorated in 5 weeks. That would have never happened before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So gardens are getting done. I've got, there's loads of things that I appreciate. My kids actually realising, you did think you knew them, but you weren't around a lot because you were working all the time, and you actually don't know them as well as what you know them now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good. I mean, I've just got another couple of seconds and then I'll let you go, Adam, because I'm aware you've got the kids and this is yours.
That's okay. Yeah, they've been taken out for a bike ride just now, so that's good.
Oh, fantastic. That's great then. Do you know what I mean? Because I was worried because Chris was like, well, if his kids are allowed in, am I allowed in? And I'm like, no, because you always say inappropriate things. I said one of my lives about I was saying that it was the daytime show where I don't swear at it because there is kids that tune in. Because unfortunately, a lot of parents, Adam, have let their kids see D in full swing. Oof. So I've had to now, so I've had to now do softer stuff that I say, right, well, let them watch that. Because I can't, it doesn't sit well with me that your kids watching these things that I'm talking about, because I cringe listening back to them, never mind whatever age your child is. But I think it's just the way I put stuff. So I've been putting out softer stuff in comedy that's more geared towards younger people. So doing that sort of thing. But they'd said, would you do it, getting involved? And this one's went really well. This show's went dead well because I think because I'm still concentrating on people's mental health. I can't save MD's life. I'm not a nurse. I can't go and do front line because obviously I've got vulnerable people. So my contribution with is doing this, and this helps me because some days I'm in a really bad mood and I can make a funny sketch and the guys will just validate me and they're like family. But I do view it as there's always disaster in the world. There's always new challenges that come to shape the world and to move it forward. I do hope that it doesn't become that we need to wear masks forever, and I do hope that we're eventually allowed to hug people because I'm a hugger.
God,
like
me too. I'm gonna hug people. I'm gonna be breaking backs when it finishes.
One of those guys in Glasgow. You don't even need to give to charity. Just give me a hug. I don't even need a pound. Just give me a hug.
Yeah, I'm missing that.
But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure anyway. But is there anything you want to say to the guys before we head on?
Well, just on the subject of mental health, I've been I started a vlog last year called When Men Don't Talk, and so I've been trying to populate that with content since. I've done a few vlogs, a few video diaries basically, and it was all about just encouraging men to talk. I realized last year that there was just, I looked at the male suicide rate. I realized that there was areas of my life that I wasn't fully engaging with and I wasn't being communicative about. And it caused me to go to a very dark place. And I started When Men Don't Talk. And so if anyone wants to go and like that page, go and see it, watch the videos, comment and engage. I've got another one that I'm hopefully going to put up next week. But I think men talking, other than about football and sport, is something that we can do. And hopefully out of this period where there's loads of men at home with plenty of time on their hands to think and talk, can use it as a time to get in touch with themselves and talk about the things that really, really matter, the soft underbelly issues that we don't talk about that lead us to have a 75% suicide rate. Of all suicides, 75% are men.
I know, it's really, I work with a few, I can't even, Sam H and that as well. So I've done my introduction to counselling, which we had to do to charities. So I have worked with Minds Matter as well. There's another one. There's a few of them that I've worked with. What is that page? Because if you give it to me as well, I'll share it and pin it on the post below.
It's just called, it's When Men Don't Talk.
When Men Don't Talk.
Yeah, When Men Don't Talk. So there's a Facebook page for that. Just go and like When Men Don't Talk, and people can get in touch with me through that as well. Yeah. Men
do talk different, and people say, well, you can't describe it, but men the body of my best friends are men, right? It's just the way it happens, like Gawk. And there's certain ways, like sometimes I find that men will, if they're really nice and more passive than they are aggressive, they will tend to just, I can't hurt them with my feelings, so I can't tell them, and leave them until they're too big to deal with, and then they're hurtful towards the person or they're the opposite, they explode and they cause this big drama. And then when you get to what was actually happening, you're like, but I've been asking you the same thing for a couple of weeks. So I think guys have been told to retain until it can't stay in there, and that's not good.
It's part of our conditioning. And I was brought up in the north coast of Scotland in a place called Thurso up in the Highlands. Broken home, violent alcoholic father. I was at the children's panel 3 times before the age of 16. I was brought up, you don't talk, there was things you just don't talk about. Men generally are brought up to be strong and stable. And that means not showing vulnerability. It means not speaking to anybody about how you feel. And so you end up in a society where it's so unbalanced, and when you experience pain or disassociation, or you're affected, or you have a traumatic experience, you get to a stage where 75% of all suicides are men. Why do they think suicide is a solution? It's because the pain is so intense and they've got no other vehicle, and they've never been shown, they've never been encouraged to explore any other avenue of assessing their feelings. And so suicide seems like a viable option for 75% of people, and that's just sad. So that's what When Men Don't Talk about. It's trying to break that and make it completely acceptable to talk about anything about how you feel. And I think we are getting better. It's
definitely. I would say, because I've struggled with mental health at a young age. I went through similar but not the same dark issues, and I deal with a lot of survivors of sexual abuse because of my dark issues, and I find the guys, it's really difficult, because if I'm in a conversation with you just in a sociable night and we're in a group of friends, I don't hide the fact that that's happened to me, right? But you would be fine with that, and there's lots of people be fine with that. But see, when a guy says that he's been sexually abused, it alters some people. For some reason, it's, that's a wee shame for her. And some boys, it's like, oh, really? You're not a whole man, you're broken. You know, they've had that attitude a lot. I mean, I had a few guys that I had to then obviously put them over to guy counsellors that have been through it, because all our counsellors were all people that had been through the same situation. And I found that anything that makes a guy weak's frowned upon in the types of circles that we were brought in, because men need to be big. But I was taught that as well. My family were very aggressive in the sense of nobody messes with us, we're the big family, we're a big ticket, that sort of thing. And I was always taught that crying was weakness, and I was always taught if somebody hits you, you batter them till they don't get back up. You know, there was so much that I had to fix and unlearn. And talking wasn't what we did, because talking showed weakness, and our family were hard. And I was about 27 before I actually discovered who I was, that I was a decent person, and there was something worth building on. And I just think that's sometimes a lot of the big problem in mental health. It's not they don't want to talk, they just don't know where to start and how to start.
Yeah.
Orkney. Somebody
from Orkney there, yeah. Well, I was born in Edinburgh, but I grew up in Thurso, so I'm a Chukta, as they say.
I like how your accent slipped back as soon as you said Orkney there. So I was born in Orkney. You know?
Well, I went to college in London, and when I first I did a year in Dundee, and then I went auditioned for colleges in London, and I got accepted and went and lived there. But when I went down there, nobody could understand me. And that's why I have this accent now that a lot of my fellow Scots rip the mick out of, because they're like, you don't even speak proper Scottish. I goes, well, I lived in London for 15 years and I sought to be understood, because I was sick of Londoners going, what you say, mate? What you say? Speak English. I got sick of it and I just wanted to be understood. So my thick Highland Thurso accent got chiselled away, and it is what it is now. So
that's my uncle. He stays in Essex, and he'll phone me, right? Not so much now, but when I was younger, and the only person I really spoke to from Essex or outside of my town was my uncle. And he used to go on and go, all right, mate. And I was like, can you speak to me in your Kilburnie voice? And he's like, and then he would drop straight back into Scottish, and he would talk away. But then when he'd shout at my wee cousin Louisa, I'd be like, what are you doing, mate? And I'd be like, wow, but he totally changed his accent to London. He didn't even just lose. Right. And now I'm doing the same, because obviously I have fans now worldwide, and some of them actually love me and don't understand half of what I'm saying. So, so I've actually started to articulate just so they can get a wee bit more of a laugh.
Yeah.
But it's been fantastic having you, Adam. I've really enjoyed it.
It's been fun being on. Good.
But anything screenplay, I want to know, because I want to keep my mind active. Also, message me thank you for a wee shout out. I have a weird accent. I pick it up from all places I've lived. My uncle used to have an army accent. You know what I mean? He didn't have an accent because he was all over the world.
Right.
He ended up
an international accent.
Yes, he was in Stevenage for a long time, but it was never quite English. It was never quite Scottish accent. It was quite weird. But anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure. Give me the link when you get off. Send me the link. But everybody, this has been Adam Robertson. But you've been fantastic, Adam. Thank you very much for coming on and chatting to us. All right.
Oh, that's my mum that was chatting there, Kay Sanders.
That's
with the two cats. Hi, Mum. My number one fan.
I sent a letter on for her. She wrote a big, massive letter.
All right. Kay Sanders, that's my mum.
I sent it everywhere, Kay, so that's how you get the same name as my mum. My mum's Kay as well.
Right.
She's Kay Maxwell. There you go.
But anyway, absolute pleasure talking to you. And I'll plug for you. So people who are watching this should, if you like Dee's show, you should, and you think, if I saw Dee, I'd buy her a cup of coffee, or I'd buy her a pint or whatever. Give her the equivalent of a cup of coffee. Come on, keep this channel going.
Thank you, Adam. You're a star. You're going to enjoy your children and your bread making.
I'm going to have to go and fold my bread dough now. The bacon never stops. All the best, Dee. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye. Well, guys, that was Adam Robertson, who is a friend of mine, but also actor, and we've seen all the different things he does, and also he's doing something for mental health. How good is that? He's a lovely, humble guy. Obviously, before I met him, I only knew him as the actor, Dan Doctor. It's my guilty pleasure. River City is my guilty pleasure. It's even more my pleasure now, because I do have friends that have been in it. I do have people that support it. So obviously it's Scottish and I support it. But I'm going to, because I'm dead spiritual today, so before we finish up, I'm going to say Right, so let me see. I'm going to pick a card, right, with the intention on how we've ought to deal with the day forward, right? So we're shuffling them all in. Can I wee Bible if I've done this, right? Let me see. Comfort. You see that? So that says, Comfort, Archangel Angel, I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So that's what it is. Stay in touch with your heart, stay in touch with your head, stay in touch with good feelings, light and love and positive vibes. And as Adam says, keep talking. And you're in my inbox, but remember, there's tools out there. There's Chrissy's house, the NHS site. I've got things on there for mental health, breathing space. All these different things of online techniques, because sometimes we don't need to talk. Sometimes we just need to scream into a pillar, breathe, take time out, fill your cup. Something I learned with Parent Network Scotland. There's another good charity, Parent Network Scotland, helping parents deal with children. They will help you more than ever. Go and fill your cup and do everything else. The short name is PNS. Check if there's one in your area and see if they're doing anything just now to help families out. But anyway, I'll see you later on with probably some swear words. But I've been awesome. There's a new show coming up, Late Show with me and Ronnie on Sunday night. I would like you to send any questions that you want me to discuss, any problems that Dee and Ronnie can put in a funny way for you to hand them. Don't send them to the page. They'll get lost in trolls of mail. Send them to Dee, so that's DEE25 Maxwell at gmail.com. D as in DEE 25 Maxwell at gmail.com. Any things, if you want to make it anonymous, that you don't want to say when we're on live, that you want us to discuss. Like my husband keeps picking his nose and then putting it on the couch, like Jim kept saying the other night when we were on, and hiding it and thinking I'm done seeing it. I think I've totally went off my husband. Ridiculous things. Let's have a laugh, let's have a show, and let's have a good time. But I've been Dee Maxwell. This has been Friday Feeling, and see you next week for the next show.